Hey everybody, Alex here. As you can see, I'm taking a beautiful walk on a lovely March day in the Polish forests here. Snow's about, obviously, it's really nice, like breathtakingly beautiful. You missed, you guys missed it. I should film more, but I just wanted to check in and give you a little sense of where I am. This is sort of more of the more wooded area of where I was. It was open before. You could see all the mountains in the background and the ski slopes and stuff here in Zakopane. Wanted to quickly touch in and talk about, basically verbalize a article I wrote today, which you can find via my newsletter at alexmathers.net. Basically, it's an article that was prompted by watching one of Caleb Jones's videos on how every man should at least once in their lives be beaten the shit out of. have someone take a few punches to you and experience the reality of being beaten back by somebody bigger than you, and to have experienced the raw, visceral reality of being on the receiving end of a fist. That's not to say it needs to be, you know, like a pub brawl or whatever with knives and stuff. It can be in a jiu-jitsu martial arts environment with protective gear, and it got me thinking. I haven't really had much of that in my life, and I feel like I need to up my game a little bit and do more of that. At the very least, do more things that scare me. You know, get myself face to face with things that make me nervous at the very least, but also fearful. And of course, as I've shared in many videos, fear is often misunderstood as excitement, packaged as fear. So I just wanted to sort of touch on that, just the importance of incorporating things that give us the tingles a little bit, not those sorts of tingles, but, you know, like just butterflies in your stomach, but also even heart-pounding anxiety sometimes, but in the positive sense. You know, you're face to face with something that you know you should do, that you may have been thinking about a lot. Maybe it's making that important phone call, or approaching that person, or hitting the ski slopes, which I'm about to do tomorrow. A little bit scared about that, a little bit nervous about facing downhill on a pair of skis. Haven't done much of it, so it's fairly new. But at the same time, it feels pretty invigorating to be involving myself in stuff that pushes me over the edge a little bit, you know, gets me out of the comfort zone, as they always say, and it is important. But some of you might be asking, you know, if we're going to be doing lots of scary things in our lives, and you know, bringing in fear-inducing challenges, which I think is really healthy because it helps us grow, of course. Does that mean that we're not supposed to do what we love with our lives as well? Does it mean that we're supposed to, because everyone tells us we should do what we want, we should do what makes us happy. And that's true. We should fill our lives with projects and passions and things that make us happy and bring us joy, and be with people that don't bring us down and that kind of stuff. I'm at the dead end here, and I always encourage people to pursue the things that they're talented in, and the things where they have strengths in, and the things that make them come alive and make them happy. But why can't you do both? And that's the key thing in this article, is emphasizing for you guys that you want to be incorporating both. You want to be doing things that you want to do in your life. You want to fill your day with stuff you actually want to do, things you love to create. I always ask myself the question every morning: what would I love to create today, this year, this month? What would be an amazing, exciting, fun thing to bring into existence using my own bare hands? What would be really cool? So you want to bring that kind of stuff in. Also, obviously, think about stuff that makes you happy. You know, like, think back to your positive experiences in your life and think about what makes you happy and do more of that. But at the same time, many of us, and I think this is happening more and more in this coddled, avoidant of fearful, scary, dangerous things in this modern society, I think a lot of us forget to, or avoid, incorporating things that are scary, things that feel edgy and dangerous and a little bit scary in our lives. So you want to be doing both. what I would encourage you to do, like I'm about to do now, I was going to write the list this morning, but I'm going to write it again today, or write it today. What are some things, 5 things that scare me a little bit, that I could do, that I could knock off my list in the next week, month? What are some things I've been avoiding that I kind of know I should do, and it's just, I don't know why I can't do it. I can't push myself to do it because I've got all this resistance. Well, that's because you're fearful about it. And you have thinking about it, which is really what it is. It's not so much that the thing itself is scary, it's that you're thinking about it is scary. But that's really, really useful information. You want to take note of the things that you are making stories about that bring you fear, because they are triggering you. Those things are making you think in such a way that brings you nerves, brings you that resistance. And I always see it as a positive sign. It's a sign of the things you should be doing as opposed to the things you want to avoid. And most of us are wrapped up in the reality of trying to avoid scary things, trying to keep away from the edges of our lives. And of course, we wonder why we're all miserable, because we're not stretching. We're not feeling the vigor and the joy that comes on the other side of having done the thing that's scary. So I just want to leave you guys with that, really. Do more things in your life, whether it's, trying hang gliding, trying boxing sparring, just finishing a painting, trying a new thing that you have always wanted to do that for whatever reason you held back on because you kind of found that resistance around it. Call up that person or multiple people that you want to introduce yourself to. Go on that long hike. Explore that new place in your country if you can travel. Go somewhere new that you feel uncomfortable around going to. Look, I'm here on my own in this completely alien world, really. In the middle of a country I don't know anything about. I don't know the language. No one here speaks English, really. I mean, they do, but it's really only the young, and you kind of have to prompt them into it. And I have, to be honest, been doing this all my life, so it's not as fear-inducing as it was. But, arriving in a foreign land and having to figure out how to get around and all that stuff, I mean, that's kind of become part of me now. It's become part of my life. But it started from a time in my life when I was frightened about it. I was uneasy about traveling to foreign, alien worlds. But now it's kind of second nature, and my life has really blossomed because of my ability to incorporate and embrace travel and having gotten over the hurdles of fearing travel initially. So by sort of navigating the challenge and the fear, I have expanded my life, literally, geographically, spatially. My life has become bigger. There's a lot of people I know who have fear around traveling, and they'll use the feeling of fear as an excuse in their minds to avoid doing it, and their life and their world and their reality remains literally small, geographically small and restricted. So expand your life in multiple directions by seeing and noticing and being aware of what brings you fear, and confronting that fear, first of all, by writing a list and getting it down on paper. Like, acknowledge what the things are in your life that are bringing you fear. What are the things that keep returning to you that you're losing sleep about? What are the things that keep knocking on the door? Seemingly demons, but actually they can be seen as angels guiding you to doing the right things. The things that stretch you, the things that help you reveal who you really are. So write down those things. What are some scary things you want to confront? You can confront. You could potentially consider the idea of confronting. Write them down, and then realize this as well. You don't need to jump in the deep end. You can take a small step, one small step. Choose one of the things on the list. Write down a list of smaller steps that thing is composed of, and see what you can do within the next week or two to start taking steps. Your life will expand geographically, psychologically, mentally, physically. Everything will expand about your life. Do the things you love. Do what makes you happy. But do more of what makes you scared. do more of what brings you fear, and your life will expand. Peace out, guys. Do subscribe, do like, and I'll see you in the next one.